Okay, let's everybody find our sit bones and drop nice and tall through the crown. And take a minute to settle in. And just notice what is happening today. Maybe nothing, maybe something. Close your eyes. Notice how the breath is entering in through the nose, out through the nose. And begin to scan the body, starting at your feet. Noticing that when sitting in easy pose, you have to go to one foot and then the other. And begin the journey up the legs, just noticing. And if your mind is coming into play here and jumping in and saying, what on earth are we doing? Just thank it. Come back to the mind that witnesses and notice your breath. Continuing the journey up the legs, you've passed your knees. Now you're coming into the tops of your legs and your hips. Noticing the hips. What's happening there? Anything talking to you? Is it tight? Maybe do a couple small circles around your spine. Just inviting a little opening. And then reverse it, go the other way. Just seeing what happens in that pelvic girdle. And then come back to center and notice what's happening. Is the pelvic floor engaged? So the pelvic floor is like doing a Kegel, lifting up. And then at the same time, draw that belly button back to your spine. And as you inhale, soften that belly button. And then as you exhale, draw it back in again. So it's a working breath. It's inhaling, softening it out. Exhaling, drawing it in. And notice that you can lift through the pelvic floor, yet continue to let the muscles around the belly button soften and contract as you breathe. Giving the diaphragm space to draw the air in, helping it to leave. Just notice. Then bring your attention up to your rib cage. And when you inhale, are you inhaling all the way to the bottom of your lungs? Or are you just going halfway? It doesn't matter, just notice. Bringing that attention up to your shoulders. And where are they? Are they up by your ears? Or is your head so far forward from looking forward? Bring it up as if somebody's drawing through the crown a string from your spine, lifting you up tall. Bring those shoulders up to your ears. Lift them up. Really exaggerate it. And then roll them back and down your back. And feel this lengthening happening as you lift through your heart, as if the heart's shining towards the sun. What's happening in the jaw? Is it tight? Is it loose? Notice if you open your mouth and wiggle your jaw side to side, what happens in the hips? The hips mirror the jaw. Just notice. And then come all the way up, noticing where the top of your crown is. Is it lengthening to the sky? Is it growing long? Just notice. Nicely done. And now we're going to go to 3-part breath. So we begin to inhale all the way to the bottom of our lungs. And then exhaling all the way out from the bottom of your lungs. As if, I touch you, is that okay? As if you're blowing the air out of a balloon and getting every bit of it all the way out. Good. And inhaling all the way in. Because really the lungs are nothing more than a balloon. Filling and emptying. The most important balloon of your life carries our life force. I'm going to grow quiet. Continue to inhale to the bottom of your lungs, the center, all the way to the top. And exhale the same from the top to the center, all the way down. I'm still here, breathing. We'll do 3 more breaths, staying with it. Returning to normal breath, just whatever normal is for you. Gently soften the gaze into the room. We're going to come off of our blanket and come all the way up to standing at the front of your mat. Let's see, I might have you move your mat back about a foot. Okay. Just so you and Carrie don't. Okay. Coming into the front of the mat, we're going to find our mountain pose. So let's take a minute here. Find our feet underneath us. Engage that pelvic floor, lifting through that belly button up and back, growing long in the crown, taking a nice deep inhale in. Inhaling the hands up overhead, starting with just sun arms, exhaling down. We're going to begin with warming the body. Inhaling up, exhaling down, only the arms. So the arms will move as fast as your breath does. So if you find that you're breathing really fast and the arms are moving quickly, what would it feel like to just slow that down? Inhaling it up. And if you'd like to invite 3-part breath back in, you can do so. Exhaling down. Inhaling. Now I'm cueing to my breath, so it's okay if your breath is different than mine. We're going to do 3 more and then add to it. 2 more. And last one, all the way up, all the way down. And on this inhale, we're going to repair the hinge at the hips, inhaling up, full swan dive forward, exhaling, flying forward. Soft knees, we haven't really stretched out the hamstrings. Inhaling, coming back up. Do it slowly. Slow this down. So now we're inviting the lower body into it. And we're just going to go down and up, no pause. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Knees can bend, it's okay. Knees ought to be a little bit soft just because the core is engaged. The work is coming from the lower body here. Exhaling, going down. Inhaling, coming up. 3 more, here we go. Exhaling down. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, coming up. This time we're going to add our pauses. So we're going to inhale up. Exhale, hands to our heart. Take just a nice brief pause here. Beginning to feel the body warm. And begin again, inhaling, circling the arms around, bringing a circle into this. Exhaling, swan dive forward. This time, hands come to your shins. Inhale, halfway up. Really engage that core, flatten the back, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. So that lift up is really important. Exhaling your hands down the center line and continue. Inhaling, circling them around. Exhaling, swan dive forward. Engage that pelvic floor. Really feel the strength in the core. Inhaling, halfway up. Power, power, power through that core, lengthen through that crown. Exhaling down. So you're coming halfway up to flatten the back. Inhaling, reverse swan dive. So that you can really feel not only the core muscles strengthen, but your back muscles also. Beginning again, we're going to do 5 more of these. I'm going to go quiet on your own. I'll talk you through this one. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands at your heart. On your own, 4 more. Here we go. Two more, so we're halfway there. If your monkey's jumping in, narrating this for you, take it, invite it to the other room like the children. Last one, finish it out. As you come to completion, hands at your heart, we'll pause and wait for everybody to catch up. Close your eyes, sink into your feet. Check in. Pelvic floor is engaged, belly button is working. We're going to add to this. We're going to inhale. We're going to drop our hands down, circling around. Exhaling, swan dive forward, hands land on either side of your feet. We're going to step the right foot straight back. This is a great place that if you're a block user to grab your blocks. Okay? Who needs blocks? Grab them if you need it. So, if you find that high lunge is too much for you this morning, we can drop it down into low lunge. And we probably will do so eventually. But let's start in high lunge if you have the space to do so. Okay? So a few details here. We're going to hold postures today with no movement. So at any time, if it becomes too much, please go to child's pose. It's okay. So the first detail here is that we're engaging our pelvic floor. We're dropping straight down through the center of our body. And then as if you're going to draw your knees together and square off that pelvis. There's the work right there. Lengthen through your crown. Breathe into it. I'm going to move. Everybody stay there. I'm just going to check on people who I can see. There you go. Looks good. Grow long in that crown. So right here, crown comes up, neck comes up. Feel these shoulders come together. Beautiful. Hips come together. You got it. Tip slightly here. Grow long, grow long, grow long. There you go. Beautiful. Now, as if you're going to pull this knee back and this knee forward. Can you feel the work there? Yeah, you got it. So it's an interesting hitch in your hips where you draw the knees forward and you draw the knee back. It feels like it's coming from the knees, but it's really coming from deep within the pelvis. Takes a lot of core strength to do this, so bring that belly button up tight. Keep breathing. Remembering that if you get tired, lower that knee down. It's okay. Sometimes doing less takes more strength. It takes a lot of strength to admit that, you know what, this is more than I can handle. Deep breath, keep breathing. Exhale, lower that knee all the way down onto the floor. Release that foot long. I know for some of you, releasing the foot long is hard to do, but it opens the front of the leg. So take a look down at your knee. Is the knee over the ankle? If it's not, wiggle your toes forward. Everybody looks really good here. Open that knee to the little toe and then sink down as if you are going to open the front side of that. Whichever side we've got going. I think everybody's on the left. So right leg is what we're opening. Breathing into it. Find your breath. The opening begins to happen at about the fifth breath. That's when our mind really jumps in and says, oh no, I can't do this anymore. So what would it feel like to push back past that mental barrier? Staying with it, still breathing, feeling this in the front of your right side, psoas. Good job, you got it. We've got 3 more breaths, we're almost there. Last one. Inhale, we're gonna sink straight back. Now, if you're on a hardwood floor and this is too hard on your knee, put a blanket under your knee, it's okay. Sinking straight back and sit back. Now, as you can see in my body, my leg doesn't go straight all the way. It's getting better, but it's not there yet. Toe is down on the floor, okay? You can bring your blocks back next to you and sit back, straight back. This is opening up the front of the leg, lower leg right here, anterior tibialis is opening, and the back from the heel to the sit bones. Find your breath. Feel the heat begin to build. Now, draw your knees together. They're not actually going to come together. It's more of an energetic motion of squaring off the pelvis. 2 more. And last one, we're gonna inhale, we're gonna sink straight forward, back into low lunge rather. Bring that hand, that right hand next to the left foot, sinking down into it. And we're gonna twist open here. So, taking that left arm, spin it all the way open. There you go, beautiful. I'm gonna move, you guys stay there. Find where the posture holds you. Are you laughing at me? Okay, so I'm gonna change it up a little here. Let's pull this right here. Are you okay on the knuckles? Is it hurt to go flat? Okay, so let's add another block to that. How's that? That better? That way, so it's less about pushing into your hand. And go along right here, good. And feel this be really strong right through the center. And it's less about pushing into the hand on the floor and more about that being just to help your balance. Feel everything tighten right through here. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting for those of you at home, imagine that I'm coming by and taking a hold of your waist and just lifting it up. Keep breathing, find your breath. This is the point where the body and the mind connect. Who has control here? Is the mind in control? It doesn't matter, just notice. For me, when my body begins to really be challenged, my mind loves to jump in and tell me about it. So this is a great time to begin to focus on your breath. Find your breath. 2 more. And last one, lower down. Right here, sink straight back. You can bring your blocks with you or not. Straight back, sit back into that. Right hip, you've got it. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhaling, coming back forward. I would prefer no blocks because we're going to lift through that back toe and step forward. Might take 2 steps, coming back into forward fold and drop all the way down. Lift through that tail. Notice, how does the left leg feel different from the right leg? Just notice. Mine's a little bit more open in the right hip than the left hip. That may have nothing to do with today. It may have everything to do with this. Inhaling halfway up, grow long in that crown. Re-engage that core. Exhale, lower down. Inhaling, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhaling your hands down to your heart. And just standing here, resting for a minute. Good work. So even in resting, what does it feel like to drop down through that tailbone and lift up through? Something right here. There you go. Go along here. On the jaw. There you go. Beautiful. Lift up through that pelvic floor. So if your knees are locked, slide this tailbone down, lift up here. There you go. If your knees are locked, and then don't lose that, go along right here. Can you feel that? Can you feel how that kind of, yeah, feel the difference? Got it. So a lot of times in posture, we have our cell phone head going on, where we, if you drop phone, you can make a thing. Anyway, we get this kind of drop forward from looking at our cell phone. So we have to reteach our body to come back, up over, head over the shoulders, shoulders over the head, stacking our body. Nicely done. On the next inhale, release the hands down, circle them around. Exhale, swan dive forward. Stepping back the left foot, all the way back. Coming into high lunge if you can do high lunge, low lunge if you need to. Blocks are optional. So when you have your hands on your blocks, it's more of about, you should be able to lift them off your blocks and hold anyway. So that's the pelvic floor, belly button to the spine. And then when you place your hands on the blocks, it's less about, they should be palms flat on the blocks. If you're on your fingertips, that's going to hurt. And if you're still opening that front part, that back part of your arm, that's okay. You can do that. On your fingertips is okay too. Okay, does that feel different? A little bit? Okay. So sinking down. Now, draw that front knee back and the left knee forward. Right knee back, left knee forward. Square up those hips. Feel in the middle of your body. That belly button come up. And it softens, but also feel all the muscles around, like where you put your belt on. Come in as if somebody's coming and putting their hands around your waist. Sinking down, breathing into it, finding your breath. Feeling that hip beginning to open. Find the power. There's an energetic line of energy from the back heel all the way up the back of your leg, up your spine, and out the top of your head. And that's why it's so important to keep that long line of energy so that energy doesn't get cut off. Then the posture becomes effortless. 2 more breaths. We're almost there. Last one. Lower down that knee. Drop out of that foot. Sink forward. Again, square off the hips. Right knee back, left knee forward. Sink down a little bit lower in that pelvis. Engage that floor. Feel the change in the body. Feel the strength. Find your breath. If the monkey's jumping in, focus on your breathing. Where do you notice your breathing? Where do I notice when I'm breathing? That's my question. Nicely done. On the next inhale, we're going to inhale and sink all the way back. Bring those blocks with you. All the way back. Toe is still down. Toe, it's a different posture to lift your foot up. So work that foot down onto the floor. Sinking straight back. Okay, long through the crown. Breathing into it. Square up those hips. Always breathing. Two more breaths. Last one. Really focus on sinking. Find your edge. Sink a little lower on the exhale. And then inhaling, coming back forward. Bringing that block right next to your foot. Stack them if you need to. You can turn them on your side if you need them higher. And then as you're ready, engage that pelvic floor and spin open. Sinking down. Finding where you can feel the back of your neck opening. Breathing into it. Finding that twist. Finding your breath. Engage that pelvic floor. Feel the body twisting, a little deeper, lifting to the ceiling. Two more breaths. You can do it. We're almost there. Inhale through those fingertips. Exhale, coming back down. Releasing both of your blocks. Releasing that foot back to tabletop. Opening your knees wide and sinking all the way back into child. There it is. How does the right side feel different than the left side? Just notice. How is your body talking to you? How are you talking to your body? More important, how are you talking to yourself? Speak kind words. Because what we say to ourselves will come out of our mouth. Breathe into it. On the next inhale, we're going to slide straight forward, lengthening long on our mat, coming onto our belly.
moving your blocks out of the way. We won't need those anymore. Hands come out in front of us. So notice where you are on your mat, because we're going to start. I'm going to have my head up because I'm talking and I want you to be able to hear me. But forehead on the mat, or at least long, even if you're not forehead on the mat, you're at least long on the mat. So you're lengthening. This time you're lengthening through your crown. You can look at me if you need to. We're going to grow long through the left leg, grow long through the right leg, and then engage that pelvic floor. And so what happens when you engage that whole core center is it flattens your back. So you'll see this dip, and then you'll see it flatten out. Okay? So grow long there. We're going to inhale. We're going to lift the right arm and the left leg. Right arm and left leg. There it is. So pubic bones working to the floor, still working with the cross body. So this is just a slight twist, not a big one. You can make it bigger. If you want to make it really crazy big, you can reach back and grab your foot. I'm not going there today, but it is available if you want. Inhaling, lifting, breathing, growing long. Everybody's holding your breath. Start breathing. And exhaling, lowering it down. Inhaling, lifting the other side, growing tall, growing long. If you ever watch little babies, they'll lay on their tummy, especially before they're learning to crawl. And they do this. They do it way faster. But it's strengthening their core, strengthening their back muscles. So continue to drop through that pelvic floor, belly button to the spine. Take that curve out of your low back. Keep breathing. You can do it. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, other side again. We're going to go 3 breaths and then we'll come down. And exhale down, lifting other side. Inhale up for 3 breaths. Belly button up to that spine. Feel that pubic bone hit the floor because you're really engaging it. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Now, alternate sides. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Take a break if you need it. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up. We're going to go 5 more each side. So here we go, 5 more. 5. Feel all those muscles come in. This is where our strength is. Our strength is in our core. And when we're strong in our core, then nothing will knock us off balance. We've got 3 more. You can do it. 2 more. Last one. Each side. Come in for the last one. Good job. All the way down. Release it out. Let your feet go. Let them rock side to side. Now you can stack your hands. Press your forehead into your hands. Give yourself a break. Breathing into it. The breath is so important. Especially when you start your day as early as possible. All right, release those feet down. Grow long in the right foot, long in the left foot. Release those toes long. Hands out in front of you. On the next inhale, press your pubic bone into the floor. Really feel that drawing up through the pelvic floor, doing a deep kegel. And then bring that belly button back and then slide your elbows up underneath your shoulders. Sphinx. This is Sphinx. So what will happen here is a lot of times we'll lose it into a posture that looks like this. This is going me. So what would it feel like if you grew long in your crown first, really lengthen through that neck, and then come out of the Sphinx as if you're a turtle growing long, coming up. Yep, and use those palms of your hands to really support this.
Growing long, feel that pubic bone still working into the floor. And then if you have the space to come up a little bit higher, do so. Grow long in the crown. So if you think of the Sphinx in front of the Luxor in Las Vegas, or the actual real Sphinx in Africa, how they are leaning on their arms, kind of looking ahead, protecting the pyramid. So feel the strength in the body from the center, find your breath. Feel the stillness in the mind. Two more breaths. Last one, we're gonna lower straight down. Hands right out in front of you, just lower straight down. Lengthen through the crown, lengthen through the feet. And on the next inhale, we're gonna lift through the right foot and the left. That's the left foot, right arm. Start on that side. Opposite, hold it, here it is. Still working. Breathing into it. Knowing that you can take a child's pose at any point. If you're tired, if your body's like, no, I've had enough. Exhale, lower down, inhale, opposite side. Working it out, doing something different, counterposing. Exhale, lower it down, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up. This time, exhale, lower down. When we inhale and lift up, we're lifting everything. There it is. Superman. Grow long in your crown. Engage that pelvic floor. Capture that ball of energy between your feet so they're not splaying clear open. Doing great. 3 more. 2 more.
2 more.
Last one. Lower down. All right. And hands come underneath your shoulders. Inhale, pressing all the way back. Opening up those knees, coming all the way back into child's pose. All the way for 2 more breaths. Yes, my favorite count is 2 more. I always figure that if we've made it that far, we can do 2 more, then we're winning. Breathing into it. Folding into yourself. So the beauty of child's pose is just really giving yourself permission to drop down in and fold into yourself. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. It's perfectly okay when we're working to come to child's pose and to allow the body to completely rest and soften. Sometimes it feels nice to stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. Sometimes it feels nice to walk your hands down beside you. Open those shoulders in a different way. So on the next inhale, let's find ourselves coming around and rolling onto our back. Coming all the way onto our back. Never knowing for sure what's going to show up when we get here. Sometimes it's core work and sometimes it's more hip work. So on the next inhale, draw that right knee in. Exhale through the left leg, let it grow long. Now you can do this with your leg on the floor, or you could do it with it off the floor. So if you do it with off the floor, make sure that pelvic floor is engaged. If you do it on the floor, definitely make sure that it's engaged. So exhale, draw that knee in. Inhale, release it out and switch it. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, release. We're just gonna alternate legs. So it's shh, 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 shh. 3 more. There you go, changing it up. 3,
2. And last one. Keeping that right knee in, lowering that left leg all the way to the floor. Draw that right knee all the way in. Draw it in a little tighter. Draw it in. So point that left toe, take a hold of that right foot and bring it up. Now, if that's inaccessible to you to take a hold of your toe and draw it down, you can take a hold behind your knee and draw it down, okay? You can take a hold of your ankle and draw it down. Whatever works for you. So right here, with your left hand, put it on top of your right hip, okay? So we're gonna work down through that hip, drawing it down, engaging that pelvic floor. With the left heel, work through that left heel. So now we're pressing through both heels, as if we're gonna work to press our foot against our hand or the knee against you got it. So soften that, let that knee go in, deeper into the armpit. So this is a little active and passive stretching that we can do for ourselves. We're gonna inhale, exhale, lift through that heel like you're gonna touch the ceiling. You never will because your arm is gonna stop you, okay? Can you feel it? Good job. Nicely done. Exhale, release that knee into your armpit. Bend that knee, bend it down, okay? Keep holding it down. And it just helps somebody here. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Now hold this hip down with this hand right here, okay? Now press up towards the ceiling here. Now soften it down. Feel it? Okay. Active and passive stretching. Be gentle to those toes. So you can grab your toes, but you can also wrench them down. So how are we doing? Is everybody dying? This is such a great stretch for the hamstring attachment. It's also a great stretch for the hip. Okay, so one more time, we're gonna lift to the ceiling. Palm is over that foot. 3 more breaths, still lifting, working through your heel. And then exhaling, releasing that knee all the way down as you come down. Release that foot down, draw that knee in. Do a half cross body, just halfway across the body. You can feel it in your hip. It's not a twist. Yep, you're gonna feel it right through that piriformis muscle, which is a super tight muscle. And release that leg down. Nicely done. Draw in that left leg. Okay. Oh, I think we need to do some more of those knee switches. So if you want to, you can lift your leg up off the floor. We're going to exhale, draw it in, switch it out, exhale, draw it in. Feel the difference from left to right. Just feel the difference. 3 more. 3. Belly button to the floor. You got it. Last one right here. You got it. You can hear the imbalance in my hips because it's popping. Lower that right foot down. Press through the heel. So it's an active reaching through that foot. Reach for the sole of your foot. Now I realize that this is inaccessible for some. So you can grab onto your ankle. You can still accomplish the same thing. But don't grab onto your ankle unless you really, really cannot grab the sole of your foot. Do your best, okay? So here we are, we're softening, letting this hip open. Engage through the pelvic floor, belly button to the spine. Now lift through that left heel. Lift it up, lift, breathe. You might feel your leg trembling, that's okay. And release it down, soften it down. And lift up, lift, 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 lift. Breathe, breathe. You gotta breathe while you're lifting. And release it, feel it soften down. Okay, engage that pelvic floor, engage that core. If you feel yourself wiggling all over,
That core is working on growing stronger. Lift, lift, lift. Let's lift through that heel. Last one. 3 more breaths. Keep lifting. And release it down. Nicely done. Bring it in. Bring that knee in to your chest. Bring it halfway across. Remember when we go halfway across and draw it in, this is where you're feeling it. From sacrum to hip joint. Piriformis. It's a teeny little muscle in the hip that is a big PIA. If it gets too tight, it'll cause numbness down your leg, all sorts of things, because that's where the sciatic nerve goes through. Nicely done. Now, releasing it in, bringing that right knee in to meet it. Knees together starting. Let's do circles with the knees. So this is just kind of giving that low back a little bit of a break. If your core is not engaged, you will feel it in your low back. I promise. So if anybody's having trouble with low back pain, you gotta let me know so that I can work with you on how to strengthen that core. The strength in the core is the key to all movement. So I'm having a deep lesson in that right now. Coming to center, begin to rock the knees side to side, opening the knees wide. So we're headed into happy baby. So as the knees come into your armpits, take a hold of the soles of your feet, open them up, no pressing against your hands, just let those knees fall to the floor. Yes, nobody can see you except for me. Open them up, don't be afraid. There you go. Nobody cares. Open them up, soften them down, breathe, lengthen through your crown. Lengthen through your crown. That's better. Gave you more room, didn't it? So if you have your head tipped back, and that puts a lot of strain on your neck. Ooh, can you feel that? Good job. Lengthen through your crown. So that means you might have to do a slight tip in your chin. Good job, everybody. And grow long in the crown. And you'll notice that when you do that, there's a release in the sacrum that happens that gives you some more space. So for those of you who are super stretchy and you feel like you want something a little more challenging than this, you can straighten your legs by kicking through your heels and coming into the wide angle. Not happening for me, but an option for you if you like it. We're going to have 5 more breaths here. So drop in. If the monkey chatter is screaming at me, just send me some love and light. 3 more breaths. 2 more. And last one. Soften those knees in. Bring the soles of the feet together. Open yourself into a butterfly position. Release those knees. Slowly lower them down. One at a time. Shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. Okay, bring your knees back to standing, the width of the mat. Opening your arms wide in a T position. Okay, engage that pelvic floor. Inhale and drop your knees to the left, looking to the right. So where I feel this, I don't know if everybody feels this, but I always feel this in the top of my right leg when I'm going to the left. Turn your head, look to the right. So knees are traveling left, head's traveling right. Feel the body begin to kind of calm, slowly begin to cool. A lot of heat built today. Inhale, turn your head back to center, engage that pelvic floor, lift those knees up. So the lifting of the knees actually comes from the center of the body. Exhale, let them travel the other direction. Nose goes towards the left hand, turning to look. If anything's in your way, you can just move it out of the way. This is when twisting becomes a welcome relief. Breathing into it. Imagining anything you no longer need just being wrung out of the body. Inhaling your head back to center. Knees come back to center. We have one more posture and we'll be done. It's a quick one. Walk those feet into your behind, preparing for bridge. Hands come down beside you. Take a nice deep inhale, engage that pelvic floor, press those feet into the floor and lift up through the tail. No looking side to side when you're in bridge because it's very hard on your neck. You need to see what's happening. Sit up and look, and then go back into bridge. Now, however high is up to you, okay? Pressing into your feet, noticing what's happening in the knees. Bring them together like you're holding a block. There you go, good. So we're gonna just find the space where this posture begins to hold you. Looks really good. Feeling the release of the back bend after all that forward movement. 3 more breaths. And on the next inhale, this is the last breath. Exhale, lift as high into this as you can go. Lift, 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 lift. And exhale, lower down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Release those knees. Gently rocking side to side. So as you have your eyes closed, ask yourself, oh great self, do I need anything else? You did lots of twisting, lots of hips. And if you need nothing else, even though we're going to go to Shavasana, we're going to do a 5-minute Shavasana, and then we're going to do some breath work at the very end. So if you have the space where you can stay with us, please do. And if you don't, we'll see you on Thursday. So as you lengthen through your right leg and lengthen through your left leg, hands come open to receiving, feet fall open. It's cool enough these days that it might feel really good to take a blanket and cover up and kind of contain the heat that you've built. But if you're comfortable and you want to just stay in Shavasana here, that's fine. So dropping into that space of nowhere to go, nothing to do, inviting the body to incorporate today's work. Settle in. Settle into your truth. Feel. Notice the changes in your body. Make peace with what is real for you. Live your truth peacefully. And gently begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Inviting yourself to come back to now. And as you're ready, roll to your side. And when you return to easy pose, find your blanket and anchor into your sit bones, growing long in your crown again. And we're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So lots of twisting, and we're going to balance the brain to catch up with our body. So thumb and little finger of the right hand. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to close off the nostril of the right nose and exhale. We're going to close off the left nostril, inhale. And we're going to stop because I did it backwards. So let out all air, both nostrils. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Close off the right nostril, inhale in through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril, exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close off the right nostril, exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it off, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale, close it off, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it off, exhale through the left. So the close off comes after the inhale. So continue on, inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close it off, exhale through the left. Continuing on your own. Stay with it. Feeling yourself dropping into a routine and normal for you. We're gonna go one more round. We're gonna end with the exhale on the left. So wherever you are, know that when you exhale out of the left nostril, you are finished. Releasing your hand, inhaling through both nostrils, keeping your eyes closed. Feeling the yumminess of the balancing. Hands come to your heart in prayer position. We're going to have one more inhale, exhale. Then we're going to inhale and end with an Om. So exhaling all the way, inhaling to Om. Peace within. Have a great day.
Namaste.
Namaste.